Right then, folks. Before we crack on, let me give you the lowdown on what we'll be chatting about today. So, we're going to discuss why Ducati, the reigning champions, mind you, are finding it proper difficult to overtake at the Buriram circuit in Thailand, how competitors like Aprilia are already threatening their dominance, plus there's this whole aero drama that's got the Ducati riders in a right pickle about which setup to choose. We'll also dive into why Marc Marquez reckons this year's competition is going to be absolutely mental. So stick around till the end, because I'll be giving you my predictions on who's the biggest threat to Marc Marquez this season. Right, let's get straight into it, shall we? So here's the thing, Marc Marquez, who's now become his own brother Marc's rival at Ducati, has given us a proper warning. At the Buriram preseason test, he said quite bluntly that overtaking at this Thai circuit is going to be an absolute nightmare. Why? Because the combination of scorching temperatures and pressure on the front tire makes overtaking maneuvers ridiculously risky. Just imagine it, yeah? You're absolutely flying at high speed, your front tire's already overheating. The handling becomes utterly unpredictable, and you've got to overtake another rider who's on a bike just as quick as yours. That's basically playing with fire, innit? Marc Marquez himself said, "It's not easy to overtake." And this is coming from a rider with 7 world championships under his belt, not some rookie. What makes it even more complicated is that Buriram isn't just a testing venue. This is literally the opening race of the 2026 season kicking off on March 1st. So whatever they learned at the test is quite literally going to determine their fate at the race weekend. Every single lap matters. Now this is what makes Ducati's situation even more complex. They're currently stuck at a crossroads because of this aerodynamics dilemma. Mauro Gracili, Ducati Corsa's sporting director, openly admitted, "Today, we are not ready to decide which assembly we will use for the fairing." Basically, they're still dithering about which setup to use. So here's the situation. Ducati have got 2 main options. There's the 2024 fairing version that's proven stable because it's got loads of winglets. And there's the 2026 version that promises higher top speed, but its consistency is still a bit questionable. It's like choosing between your comfortable old trainers or brand new ones that look brilliant, but you don't know if they'll give you blisters yet. Pecco Bagnaia, the double world champion, even said, "I think the 2024 has a good base, it works well, but the 2026 gives us more speed." Classic dilemma. Comfort versus performance. Marc Marquez is more focused on developing the height adjuster at the rear of the bike, which apparently could help them exit corners more quickly. What's interesting is that Marc Marquez has already made his decision. He's gone for the 2024 fairing based on his previous experience. "I had already decided in Malaysia. For me, there was no choice to test here," he said. "It's a safe strategy, playing it safe rather than gambling with new technology." Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Aprilia, blimey, they're no longer the underdogs. Marco Bezzecchi was fastest on the final test day with a time of 1 minute 28.668, beating all the Ducatis. Not only that, their long-run simulation was absolutely terrifying. Ogura from Trackhouse did an average of 1 minute 30.101 seconds over 12 laps, and Bezzecchi was consistent at 1 minute 30.454 seconds for 20 laps. That's nearly the same pace as Marc Marquez's sprint race victory last year. Pedro Acosta from KTM even said the pace from Ducati and Aprilia right now is scary. And folks, that's not an exaggeration. The top 5 in long-running pace were all from Ducati or Aprilia. The rest, miles behind. Jorge Martin, who's just switched to Aprilia, is already getting comfortable, although he's still 2-3 tenths off on pace. And what's most threatening is Aprilia's consistency now. They've got 4 riders who can be competitive: Bezzecchi, Martin, Ogura, and Raul Fernandez. Meanwhile, Ducati are still struggling with the consistency of some of their riders. Marc Marquez gave us a proper, honest statement. It won't be like the beginning of last year when Ducati had a 2-point lead over the others. The competition will be like at the end of the season, much tougher. This is literally an admission that Ducati's dominance isn't as absolute as last year. Why? Because of MotoGP's concession system. As a top-tier manufacturer, Ducati are now limited in terms of development, testing, and tire allocation. Meanwhile, competitors like Aprilia, KTM, and even Honda and Yamaha who get concessions can actually develop more aggressively. The playing field is leveling, folks. Plus, 2026 is the final year of the 1,000 cubic centimeters regulations before switching to 850 cubic centimeters in 2027. Everyone's chasing maximum performance with technology that's already mature. The gaps are getting smaller. Although Ducati still have the advantage in straight-line speed thanks to their aerodynamics and sophisticated air intake system, a result of their collaboration with Lenovo. But on circuits like Buriram, where overtaking is difficult, that advantage becomes less relevant. The good news for Ducati is that Pecco Bagnaia seems far happier with the GP26 compared to last year's GP25. He said the DNA of this bike is different but better for his riding style. Last year, he was struggling from the beginning of testing, but now his feeling is much more positive. Technical director David Barana has also been working his socks off addressing the vibration and stability issues that made Bagnaia suffer last year. They're focusing on improving acceleration, top speed, and efficiency, even though engine development is frozen. How? By redesigning the air intake system components, snorkel, and airbox. Small changes, massive impact. But Bagnaia admits there's still something missing. I'm still missing something. A bit more consistency on braking, because sometimes I can brake well and sometimes the bike shakes a bit. This is a serious problem because at Buriram, braking zones are crucial for setting up overtaking maneuvers. Based on testing data, Marc Marquez is still the slight favorite, even though he crashed 3 times at Buriram. But the biggest surprise is Marco Bezzecchi with his Aprilia. The race even said Bezzecchi is the biggest threat to Marc Marquez's title defense. Not Pecco, not Alex Marquez, but Bezzecchi. Why? Because of consistency. He's fastest in single laps, fastest in race sims, and apparently his bike has improved in every aspect. Plus, his mental confidence is sky high after winning at Valencia at the end of last season. Alex Marquez could also be a dark horse. He was fastest on the first day of testing and now has the same equipment as Marc. With his experience as last year's runner-up and 3 Grand Prix victories, he's absolutely capable of fighting for the title. Next week is going to be absolutely brilliant. Starting position in qualifying becomes super important because overtaking is difficult. Expect a proper scrap for the front row between Marc, Alex Marquez, Bezzecchi, and possibly Bagnaia if he can sort out his braking issues. Saturday's sprint race will be a crucial indicator. With high track temperatures and tire management being essential, whoever can manage their front tire well will have a massive advantage in Sunday's main race. Yamaha and Honda will likely struggle. Yamaha only have Jack Miller in 16th position with a 1-second gap from the leader, and Honda, although they look closer than it has in a long time, are still quite far back. Fabio Quartararo has basically accepted a trophyless season and is preparing to switch to Honda. Sad reality, folks. Bottom line, Ducati's dominance isn't as rock solid as before. Aprilia have become a legitimate threat. Track characteristics at circuits like Buriram are neutralizing Ducati's top speed advantage, and the overall competition has become unpredictable. That's brilliant for the sport. The era where one manufacturer had absolute dominance seems to be ending. Now, every race weekend will be competitive, every point counts, and the championship fight will be tight right until the end of the season. Isn't that what we all want? Marc Marquez might still be the favorite, but he's got to prove it every weekend. Bezzecchi is ready to cause an upset, Alex Marquez is hungry for that title, and who knows, there might be a surprise from another rider. 2026 is going to be one hell of a season. So then, folks, are you getting proper excited for MotoGP 2026? Don't forget to smash that like button if you reckon Bezzecchi's going to be the biggest threat to Marc this year. And drop in the comments section who you predict will be the 2026 World Champion, Team Marc, Team Bezzecchi, or are there still some of you who believe in Pecco? Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the Thailand race weekend analysis. I'll be doing a complete breakdown of qualifying, the sprint, and the main race with even more detailed data and insights. Oh, and I want to ask, do you think Ducati should go for the stable 2024 fairing or the faster 2026 one? Answer in the comments, yeah? Maybe your choice will match what your favorite rider ends up using. If you enjoy content like this that's detailed but relaxed, share it with your mates who are fellow MotoGP enthusiasts. Let's grow this community together. And for those watching for the first time, welcome to the family. Feel free to explore the previous videos on this channel. Right, folks? See you in the next video. Keep the rubber side down, and remember, in MotoGP, it's not about the bike. It's about who's riding it. Although yeah, having a decent bike definitely helps.